Hello and welcome to English with Ryan. What if one man could change the future of humanity? Not just improve life, but completely redefine it. What if that man believed Earth was not enough? This is the story of Elon Musk, a man who doesn't just dream about the future. He builds it. Today, we know him as the richest man in the world, the CEO of Tesla, the founder of SpaceX, the mind behind ideas that sound like science fiction. Reusable rockets, self-driving cars, brain-computer interfaces. But here's the real question. Why would someone risk everything, again and again, just to chase impossible ideas? Chapter 1. The Man Who Wants to Leave Earth. Elon Musk is not a normal billionaire. He doesn't collect luxury cars, he builds them. He doesn't just watch rockets launch, he designs them. And he doesn't believe humanity should stay on Earth forever. He believes we must leave. Imagine this. A future where humans live on Mars. A new planet. A new beginning. Most people hear this and think, that's crazy. But Elon Musk hears it and asks, why not? This mindset is what makes him different. But it also made his life incredibly difficult. Because behind every big dream, there is a hidden story. A story of pain. A story of failure. A story most people never see. Before the fame, before the billions, before the world knew his name, Elon Musk was just a quiet boy. A boy who was bullied. A boy who felt alone. A boy who escaped reality by reading books and imagining new worlds. No one looked at him and thought, this child will change the future. In fact, many people doubted him. Some laughed at him. Some said his ideas were impossible. And yet, he kept going. Because deep inside, he believed something simple but powerful. The future can be better, and someone has to build it. So, why not him? This belief pushed him to take risks that most people would never take. He invested his own money. He faced failure after failure. He stood on the edge of losing everything, more than once. But every time he fell, he stood up again. Because for Elon Musk, failure was not the end. It was part of the process. And this is where our story really begins. Not with success, not with fame, but with struggle. Because to understand how Elon Musk became the man who wants to leave Earth, we must go back to where it all started. A small boy, in a faraway place, with a very big dream. Chapter 2. A Lonely Childhood in South Africa. Elon Musk was born in Pretoria, South Africa, in 1971. From the outside, his life looked normal. He had a family, went to school, and lived in a quiet neighborhood. But inside, things felt very different. He was not like other children. While most kids enjoyed playing games outside, Elon preferred to stay alone. He spent hours reading books. Sometimes, he would read for 10 hours a day. Books became his escape. Science fiction, fantasy, technology, these stories opened new worlds in his mind. Worlds where anything was possible. Worlds where people could travel through space, build advanced machines, and change the future. But real life was much harder. At school, Elon was often bullied. Other children saw him as strange. He was quiet, serious, and different. He didn't fit in. And because of that, he became a target. One day, the bullying became very serious. A group of boys pushed him down a flight of stairs and beat him badly. He was hurt so much that he had to stay in the hospital. This experience left a deep mark on him. It taught him something important about the world. Life is not always fair, but instead of breaking him, it made him stronger. Elon didn't respond with anger. He didn't try to fight back in the same way. Instead, he turned inward. He focused even more on learning, thinking, and imagining. At a very young age, he became interested in computers. When he was just 10 years old, he got his first computer. There were no teachers to guide him, so he taught himself how to program. He read manuals, studied code, and practiced every day. Soon, he created his own video game called Blastar. He was only 12 years old when he sold it for about $500. For most children, that would be just a small success. But for Elon, it was something bigger. It was proof. Proof that ideas inside his mind could become real. Proof that he could build something from nothing. Even then, he was not thinking small. While other kids were focused on school or hobbies, Elon was already asking big questions. Why are we here? What is the future of humanity? Can technology make life better? These were not normal questions for a child. But Elon was not a normal child. He believed that knowledge was power, and every book he read, every line of code he wrote, brought him one step closer to something bigger. He didn't know exactly what that future would look like yet, but he knew one thing for sure. He didn't want to stay where he was. He wanted more opportunities, more challenges, a bigger world, and that desire would soon push him to make a life-changing decision. A decision that would take him far away from everything he knew, to a place where his dreams could begin to grow. Chapter 3. The First Big Leap. Leaving home is never easy. Leaving your country at a young age is even harder. But Elon Musk knew that if he stayed in South Africa, his future would be limited. He wanted to be where innovation was happening. He wanted to be where big ideas could become real. So, at the age of 17, he made a bold decision. He left. His first stop was Canada. It was not a comfortable journey. He didn't have much money. He didn't have a clear path. What he had was a goal and a strong belief that he would figure things out along the way. In Canada, life was not glamorous. He worked many small jobs to survive. He cleaned rooms, worked on farms, and did physically difficult labor. These were not the kinds of jobs people dream about. For him, every step was part of a bigger plan. He later studied at Queen's University. There, he continued to build his knowledge and expand his thinking. But even in school, he was different. He wasn't just studying to pass exams. He was studying to understand the future. After 2 years, he transferred to the University of Pennsylvania in the United States. This was an important moment, because for Elon, America was not just a country. It was a symbol, a place where people believed in big dreams, a place where technology companies were growing fast, a place where risk was not something to avoid but something to take. At university, Elon studied physics and economics. Physics helped him understand how the world works. Economics helped him understand how the world moves. This combination would later become very powerful. But life was still not easy. He didn't live like a typical student. He was always thinking about business ideas, always planning, always asking, what problem can I solve? At one point, he and his friend turned their rented house into a small nightclub. They charged people to enter and used the money to pay rent. It was creative. It was risky. This was Elon's mindset. He didn't wait for opportunities. He created them. After graduating, he faced another big decision. He had the chance to continue studying for a PhD at Stanford University. Many people would see this as a dream opportunity, but Elon saw something else. He saw the internet. In the mid-1990s, the internet was just beginning to grow. Most people didn't understand it yet, but Elon did. He believed it would change everything. So after only 2 days at Stanford, he made another bold move. He dropped out. No degree, no guarantee of success. Just a belief that he was in the right place at the right time. And once again, he chose risk over comfort. Because for Elon Musk, playing safe was never the goal. Building the future was. Chapter 4. Building something from nothing. Starting a company is difficult. Starting one with no money, no reputation, and no safety net is even harder. But that was exactly the situation Elon Musk chose. After leaving Stanford, he didn't look for a stable job. Instead, he decided to build something of his own. Together with his younger brother, Kimball, he started a company called Zip2. At that time, the internet was still very new. Most businesses didn't even understand why they needed to be online. But Elon saw the future clearly. He believed that every business would one day be connected to the internet. Zip2 was designed to help companies do exactly that. It provided online city guides, maps, directions, and business listings. Today, this might sound simple, but in the 1990s, it was a completely new idea. The problem was, no one believed in them. Investors said no, customers didn't understand, and money was running out. Elon and Kimball had to survive with almost nothing. They rented a small office. They slept there. They worked day and night. They even used a local gym just to take showers. There was no comfort, only pressure, only uncertainty. But Elon didn't stop. He wrote code during the day. He fixed problems at night. He knocked on doors, trying to convince businesses to try something they had never seen before. Many people rejected him. Some didn't take him seriously. Others thought the idea was useless. But a few said yes, and that was enough. Slowly, Zip2 started to grow. More businesses joined. More people began to see the value of the internet. Eventually, investors became interested. The same people who once said no started to say yes. The company received funding. It expanded. It improved. And after years of struggle, something incredible happened. In 1999, a large company called Compaq decided to buy Zip2. The deal was worth nearly $300 million. Elon Musk, still in his 20s, became a millionaire. For many people, this would be the end of the journey. A moment to relax. A moment to enjoy success. But Elon didn't see it that way. He didn't start Zip2 just to make money. He started it to build something meaningful. And now that he had the resources, he wanted to do something even bigger. Instead of slowing down, he moved faster. Instead of feeling safe, he took another risk. Because for Elon, success was not a finish line. It was just the beginning of a much more dangerous game. A game where the stakes would be higher, the risks would be greater, and the failures much more painful. Chapter 5. When everything was about to collapse. Having money does not guarantee success. In fact, sometimes it makes the risks even bigger. After selling Zip2, Elon Musk could have lived a comfortable life. He had millions of dollars. He had proven himself. He had options. But comfort was never his goal. He wanted to build something that could change the world. So he invested most of his money into new ideas. The first was an online financial service that later became PayPal. At the time, the idea of sending money through the internet felt unsafe to many people. Trust was a big problem. But Elon believed digital payments were the future. The journey was not smooth. There were disagreements inside the company. There were technical problems. There was competition. At one point, Elon was even removed from his position as CEO. For many people, that would feel like failure. But Elon stayed focused on the bigger picture. Eventually, PayPal succeeded and was sold to eBay for billions of dollars. Once again, Elon became even richer. And once again, he chose risk. This time, the risks were much bigger. He started SpaceX, a company focused on building rockets. He also joined Tesla, a small company trying to create electric cars. Both ideas sounded unrealistic. Private rockets? Electric cars? Competing with big companies? Most people thought it would fail. And for a long time, it looked like they were right. SpaceX faced one failure after another. Rockets exploded. Launches failed. Each attempt cost millions of dollars. At the same time, Tesla was struggling. The company was losing money. Production was difficult. Problems kept growing. Elon decided to invest his own money into both companies. Millions, then tens of millions. He didn't stop. He kept going. Until one day, something terrifying happened. He was running out of money, not just for his companies, but for himself. He had poured almost everything into Tesla and SpaceX. If they failed, he would lose it all. There was no backup plan, no safe option. Only pressure, only uncertainty, only one last chance. At one point, he had enough money left to save only one company. Just one. He had to choose Tesla or SpaceX. It was one of the hardest decisions of his life. Instead of choosing one, he did something unexpected. He split the remaining money between both. It was a dangerous move. If both failed, everything would be gone. But Elon believed in both visions. He believed they both mattered. So he risked everything. This was the lowest point. No guarantees, no safety, just belief. And time was running out. Chapter 6. The Turning Point. Pressure can break a person, or it can transform them. At that moment, everything depended on execution. SpaceX had already failed 3 launches. 3 times, the rockets exploded. 3 times, millions of dollars disappeared in seconds. Another failure would mean the end. No more money, no more chances, no more SpaceX. The team knew it. Elon knew it. This was the 4th launch, the final attempt. Every detail mattered. Every second counted. When the rocket lifted off, there was silence. People watched, waiting, hoping, fearing the worst. But this time, something was different. The rocket didn't explode. It didn't fail. It kept going, higher and higher, until it successfully reached orbit. It worked. After years of failure, SpaceX finally succeeded. It was a historic moment, not just for the company, but for the entire space industry. For the first time, a private company had built and launched a successful rocket into orbit. Soon after, NASA noticed. They offered SpaceX a contract worth billions of dollars. Suddenly, everything changed. The company that was almost dead was now alive again. At the same time, Tesla was fighting its own battle. The company was close to collapse. Production delays, financial problems, doubt from the public. Many people believed Tesla would fail, but Elon refused to stop. He pushed the team harder. He worked longer hours. He focused on one goal: make the car work. And eventually, Tesla delivered. The Roadster proved that electric cars could be fast, beautiful, and powerful. It changed how people saw electric vehicles. Not boring, not weak, but exciting. From that point on, Tesla began to grow. Slowly at first, then faster. Year by year, it improved. New models, better technology, more attention from the world. What once looked impossible was now becoming reality. Elon Musk was no longer just a businessman. He became a symbol of innovation, a symbol of persistence, a symbol of what happens when someone refuses to give up. But success did not make things easier. It only made the mission bigger. Because now, people were watching, expecting more, waiting to see what he would do next. And Elon was already thinking far ahead, beyond cars, beyond rockets, beyond Earth. Because for him, success was never the destination. It was just fuel for the next challenge. Chapter 7. Beyond Earth. For most people, success brings comfort. For Elon Musk, success creates urgency. Once Tesla and SpaceX became stable, he didn't slow down. Instead, his ideas became even more ambitious. He was no longer asking how to build a great company. He was asking how to protect the future of humanity. One of his biggest beliefs is simple. Humans should not depend on one planet. Because if something happens to Earth, an asteroid, a global disaster, or something we cannot predict, human life could disappear. And that risk is too high. So he focused on one goal: make life multiplanetary. This is why SpaceX is not just a rocket company. It is a mission to build a city on Mars. Not in hundreds of years, but within our lifetime. To do that, SpaceX began developing something much bigger than before: a fully reusable rocket system called Starship. Unlike traditional rockets, which are used only once, Starship is designed to fly again and again. This reduces cost and makes large-scale space travel possible. The vision is bold: thousands of people traveling to Mars, building homes, creating a new society, starting again. At the same time, Elon is exploring another direction: Not outward into space, but inward into the human brain. With a company called Neuralink, he is working on brain-computer interfaces, small devices that can connect the human brain to machines. The goal is to help people with disabilities, to restore movement, to improve communication, but also to prepare humans for a future with artificial intelligence, because Elon believes AI will become extremely powerful, and humans must evolve to keep up. He also started projects like the Boring Company, focused on solving traffic with underground tunnels, different industries, different ideas. But one common theme: solve big problems, even if they seem impossible. Of course, not everyone agrees with him. Some people admire him, some criticize him. Some think his ideas are too extreme, too risky, too unrealistic. But that has always been part of his story. From childhood to now, people have doubted him. And from childhood to now, he has continued anyway. Not because it is easy, but because he believes it matters. Because he believes the future should be better than the present. And that future does not build itself. It is built by people who are willing to try, to fail, to try again. So the question is no longer, can one person change the world? The real question is, what happens when they refuse to stop?